first time I was abroad was mainland China. Came back to the US and I'm like, oh man, now I want to learn Chinese. I was actually supposed to go to Chengdu, China. But then pandemic COVID happened. When Taiwan finally allowed students to come here to study Chinese, I was like one of the first students here.
Oh. You're currently walking all the way around Taiwan.
Yes. When I started on this journey, I actually had no money in my bank account. I sold my camera, left my house with no plan, no equipment, and just started walking. I ate a lot of weird food on this trip. My friend drank a little bit of the soup, and then they're like, oh, I feel a little dizzy. And I'm like, well, we can't waste it. So I just chugged the whole bowl. And then I fucking died.
Cole Fogel here, and today I'm with, what's your name, sir?
Jacob Pugmire.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from the US. I was born, well, close to Seattle in Washington State, yeah.
What did you want to do with your life before your life is what it is now?
I was actually a personal trainer in the US. I studied, I wanted to be a physical therapist actually when I was younger, so I studied for that. Decided to be a personal trainer because there's a lot more flexibility with that. If you're a physical therapist, there's a lot of laws and regulations, and you can't do this, but you can do this, and it's complicated. But personal trainer is a very gray area where you can give nutritional advice, you can give exercise advice, you can give mental therapy advice, you can give any kind of advice you want, and legally it's all fine. But if you're a physical therapist, I couldn't give nutrition advice, so I couldn't give mental advice.
Isn't that funny?
You know, it's a bit complicated. And so I originally was a personal trainer in the US for a while.
Looking at you physically, I would say you take care of your body. Is mindfulness a part of your life?
Yes, yes.
Like meditating, or?
Yeah, I do meditate.
What kind of meditation do you do?
I use an app, not sponsored, but it's called Waking Up.
Oh, Sam Harris, right?
Harris,
yeah. He has some good meditations.
Yeah, actually, so I put that on, and it basically, I think the most important thing for meditation for me is just taking a break from all of the noise.
So much noise.
Yeah, so when you you just turn on the app, I set it for 17 minutes. I don't know why 17 minutes, but it's just a weird number I picked. And then by the end of it, I just feel so calm, just a little bit more connected. Obviously, every meditation session is different. Sometimes you are still so flustered afterwards. Sometimes you feel like you just reached nirvana. I don't like to be super strict on it, oh, I have to do it at this time for this long. It's more of just if I have time I want to calm myself down. I also see it as a way of relaxing.
It is relaxing.
Yeah, it's.
Well, why Taiwan? Was this the first place outside of the States that you lived?
No, actually.
Oh, where did you live before here?
I lived in Thailand for a while.
Oh, cool.
I studied at Chiang Mai University as an exchange student. Actually, I studied mindfulness there and Buddhism.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I studied a little bit of philosophy there, and it was a great experience for me. That was the first time living abroad overseas for an extended period of time. I was there for I don't know, 9 months or something.
Oh, cool.
But that wasn't the first time I was abroad. The first time I was abroad was mainland China, in Beijing.
It's interesting. A lot of people start China as the first thing, and then Taiwan happens later.
Yeah, because
people don't really know about Taiwan.
When I was younger, no one knew about Taiwan. People know about Taiwan now because of the cross-strait conflict.
Yeah.
Everyone saw it on the news.
Sadly, that's why they know about it?
Yeah, sadly.
So Beijing was what, working, or?
No, Beijing was just a short vacation.
Oh, cool.
Just 8 days, yeah.
Were you alone, or you were with your family, or?
I was with a friend.
With a friend? Okay,
yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Because I've never been out of the US. I never seen this part of the world, the culture, the language, and just going to a new country for the first time. And I just remember just the food, the way people were, hearing a different language everywhere.
Yeah.
Also, we went to a lot of historical sites. Came back to the US and I'm like, oh man, now I want to learn Chinese. So I just started looking at these characters and I just started drawing them. I couldn't speak Chinese, but I just practiced drawing them.
Wait, how old are you at this point?
I was still 19.
19, and you're practicing drawing. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I self-studied it, and I'm like, oh, I want to study in Asia. But right when I was about to go abroad to go to Asia, I was actually supposed to go to Chengdu, China to study Chinese. But then pandemic COVID happened. So then I was given the option from my university to either study in Korea or Thailand. So I chose Thailand because I heard in Korea at that time, I would go there to study, but it would be in the dorm online classes.
Oh.
But in Thailand, you could still go in person.
Oh, cool.
So I was when I went to Thailand, it was just life was normal. And then when Taiwan finally like allowed students to come here to study Chinese. I was like one of the first students here.
Oh, cool.
So like when I was studying in university, it was just like me and 2 other students.
Wow.
In the whole class.
Taipei or?
Yeah, Taipei, NTU. I studied there for over a year.
First of all, for those that are watching that don't know what you're currently doing, you're currently walking all the way around Taiwan.
Yes.
You're not allowed to accept lifts from anyone.
Mm.
Everything has to be on foot.
Yeah.
So if someone offered, hey, you could stay at my place up in the mountains, you'd have to walk up the mountain to stay in their place.
Exactly, exactly.
Have you had a favorite spot where you're just like, this is hard to leave?
Oh, yeah, that's a hard question. I feel like the fun part about walking by foot around Taiwan is you go to places that you perhaps would never have the opportunity to go to otherwise.
Right, yeah.
A lot of
little detail.
Yeah, like the countryside, you know? Like normally when I've lived in Taiwan for 3 years, right? And I've traveled to different parts of Taiwan, but I've just like, okay, I hop on the Gaotie and I go to like Kaohsiung. I hang out here for like 2-3 days and I go back to Taipei. You know, it's like, it's a bit different from walking through like Yunlin.
It has a kind of a cow poo smell because I think there's a lot of the farming, they use that as fertilizer or whatever.
Yeah, like a lot of, different places have different smells. Yeah. Like when you pass like I don't even know what to call it, like the pig slaughterhouses.
Yeah, they are the worst.
Horrifying smell. That one's the most terrifying.
It makes you not want to eat pork.
When I see those places, it also makes me not want to eat meat.
It makes you think about it.
Yeah.
Do you have 1 or 2 favorite experiences from Taipei to this point?
Okay, so I injured my foot before. Yeah, and when I injured my foot, I went to a nearby temple and I rested there for about 2 days.
Cool.
And nearby that temple, I found a cave and I slept in the cave.
Whoa.
And so that was probably one of my favorite places I slept in my journey.
And the people here would have been like, don't do that, it's dangerous.
Yeah. But it was actually like one of the best places because one, it was just cool. And the second one is it was actually just like warm. Like it was dirty as fuck. Like my whole clothes were covered in dirt by the time I woke up in the morning because I don't have a sleeping bag or anything like this.
Yeah.
But it was it was really comfortable actually. It was chill. It was like frogs accompanying me. There was like this like pond nearby.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
How many people watching can say they've slept in a cave? Probably not many.
Yeah. I think the other one that was kind of cool is walking through the countryside. I ran into like barely any people, barely any cars. It felt like dystopian vibes. You
could have shot a movie there.
Yeah, you could have shot a movie. And it was cool. It was like weird cactus plants and it was like these weird like ruined buildings and it was just like the vibe of it was really neat. Random encounters with people, like, you know, I would just be walking, this guy takes me to his home and then have this whole experience meeting all these people, going to like the local temple festival, things like this. You just kind of go with the flow and run into interesting people. There's a difference between traveling and vacation. They say they're traveling, but it's really vacation. Like if you, this day at this time I'm going to be at this hotel, then I'm going to go to this place and then eat at this place and do this activity. That's vacation.
Yeah, no, this experience is definitely traveling. It's not a vacation because there's going to be good and bad in the experience.
Yeah.
So your foot, what was the cause of it? Just over walking and it wasn't used to that kind of walking?
I was wearing my flip-flops and I was walking downhill. And I think my body has not been so accustomed to walking such long distance. Normally it's like, it's fine, but when you're carrying the heavy backpack on you and then you kind of twist it on a hill and you're wearing flip-flops, no protection.
Yeah.
So that's how I injured that.
What was the worst part of it? I think I'm guessing it was that thing that I saw with theft or whatever. Was that the worst part of the experience?
I mean, that was pretty bad. So like at first I was like, you know, like I was a little bit in shock. Like, you know when your heart just drops?
Yes,
I was like,
I understand.
Shit. Like I couldn't believe that it actually happened. You know, kind of like okay, I've been in a car accident before. It was kind of that feeling where just like,
where you go into shock.
Huh? Like, did this really happen? Because my friend called me and told me that it happened. Like, I didn't notice it was gone. And I was like, are you serious?
Was it like your whole bag or just your wallet?
So I had my backpack, and then inside my backpack was like this little pouch where like I kept all my money, I kept my passport, I kept my American SIM card, my American credit card, even my American driver's license.
Oh God, this hurts.
I was an idiot.
Taiwan generally,
it's so safe.
These things don't happen.
They just never happen.
So they were able to catch the person?
No.
Or get your stuff back? No.
No, nothing.
Well, if the person who did this is listening, it's not too late to send it to the local police station and notify him.
Well, I just want my ID.
Yeah.
You can have the money.
I'm sure that affected your morale for a few moments, I would imagine.
It did for a few moments, yeah. I mean, if you want to know, the truth is, like, I think I had a lot of stress built up from the journey.
Of course.
And then that happened.
Yeah.
And then I actually cried.
I would have too.
I cried that day.
I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Real men cry, by the way.
Yeah. And then I felt much better afterwards. And then
Of
I was
course.
like, okay, there's nothing I can do. And this is actually, the way I thought of it, which helped me was, like, you know when you read like a novel, like a fantasy book, and then it's like, okay, the person runs across difficult situations, and then that is what makes them stronger or makes the story interesting.
I felt like it made your journey interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I hope he doesn't give up. Like I wanted you to keep, I think anyone watching you wants you to make it back to Taipei.
Yeah. I think it also was a good lesson to not be so attached to things.
I was definitely feeling for you, like when that happened. I was like, oh, that sucks, man. He's like doing this thing that's already hard. I was thinking what you were feeling. It's like, this is already so hard. What the hell? You know, and it's like, why me? This doesn't happen in Taiwan. You know, you've already been here 3 years, and you agree these things don't really happen that often.
It's so safe, you wouldn't think.
But come on, Taiwan, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, except for the one place we parked the scooter.
Damn.
Damn.
Obviously, it's shitty that it happened. One day when you're an old man telling the story, maybe to your grandchildren or something, and you're like...
Some dad lore. Yeah, I find that any bad situation is usually actually quite good. Because you learn something from it. It's like the thing that keeps pushing you forward. It's just like,
100%.
As long as you can endure it, learn a lesson from it, and then it's a good thing.
100%.
Yeah.
And I hope that whoever's watching can understand that, like, we all go through like stuff in our life, and don't let it get you down. I believe there's a plan for all of these things that happen, and walking around Taiwan is already kind of trying to detach from your normal life, I think.
Yeah.
Because you can't take transit to get places.
Yeah.
And then having that stolen is another form of detachment.
Yeah.
Maybe was a necessary growing experience for you.
The journey, like you said, plus this event, it really makes you realize that at the end of the day, if you're only by yourself, that's just good enough.
It is enough.
Yeah.
My wife wanted me to ask you this. What was the reason why the walk? Why did you decide to walk around Taiwan?
Actually, a couple things. There's a Japanese samurai guy called Miyamoto Musashi, who I like. He has a book called The Book of Five Rings, and where he writes about his philosophy. But anyways, he's just like a wandering samurai, and I've always been a huge fan of fantasy books. It's always like, basically like a hero goes on an adventure, and he's walking around, and he comes across many difficult situations and he grows from it. So I've kind of like reflected on my life before, and I'm like, you know, I've always wanted to be this kind of person, and I want my life to change this kind of way, but it's just like, it's always staying the same. And I got like, you know, frustrated to where 2025 comes, and I'm like, okay, I need to do something big with my life. I need to challenge myself and do something cool. So I was just like, okay, what can I do? I'm in Taiwan. You know, I like, you know, this walking around adventure thing. It's like, it suits my personality.
Yeah.
I know it's something that I can handle. Huandao in Taiwan is quite like a popular thing. People like Huandao. And I'm like,
could be a car, a scooter, a walkabout.
Normally, people drive a scooter or a car or something.
There's the 1% that do what you're doing, but I think it's a hard task.
Yeah. And then I basically visualized it, I planned it a little bit, and then I just left my house. Like,
I love it.
Just no, not really a lot of gear, just some clothes in my backpack, and then I just left and kept walking. And then, you know, I've never did anything like this, long distance. I've never like been comfortable like sleeping outside as much. Like even like on the second or third day, I'm like sleeping in a homeless camp.
Wow.
I just kept learning on the trip. And eventually now it's like, okay, I feel quite comfortable. Like I kind of know all the tricks to survive.
That's awesome.
But to answer your question, it was inspired by the Miyamoto Musashi fantasy books, my desire to change my life.
And have an adventure.
And yeah, I think those are the main ones. Because of the content, you know, I started building like a community of like fans.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah.
So like when I go to the cities, I would have like a bunch of events and interactions with them.
Oh, cool. Oh, you actually met up with people in the different cities. Oh, cool.
A lot of live streams and such. So
yeah, no, I saw one of your live streams. I think you were eating. It was funny. You were just eating, and people were sending you messages, and you were eating somewhere. I forget where that was.
Oh, dude, that was like chicken testicles. That was eating some G-fo.
Wow, I have not tried chicken or any kind of testicle.
Bro, I ate a lot of weird food on this trip. I ate pig's brain. I ate duck brain.
Oh, I can't.
The duck brain much smaller. The big brain is quite big. It's like, it's in the soup, so it's like, you know, like all squishy and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But the duck brain, it was like, you know, a bit more dry. It was more like eating like liver or something. I think I ate a bunch of other, I ate like snake too.
Okay.
That was like okay for me. But when you drink the soup, I don't know what they put in it, but it's like, afterwards, I felt like I was gonna pass out.
Oh, interesting.
For like 45 minutes, I felt like the whole world was
maybe
like
there was snake blood in it, or was it snake venom?
Maybe something like that. I don't know.
Man.
Like, cause my friend drank a little bit of the soup, and then they're like, "Oh, I feel a little dizzy," and I'm like, "Well, we can't waste it," so I just like chugged the whole bowl, and then I like fucking died.
So you were offered a lot of interesting experiences food-wise on this trip.
Yeah, a lot of food. I've even had like, you know, somewhere I'm like having some like jitang, mayo jitang, and then it's like they put so much mijo inside of it, like it's like drinking straight up alcohol.
So you get
like drunk just from eating the soup.
Oh God. Okay, what have you learned about yourself? Do you feel like you've had some real growth inside yourself, spiritually or mentally or emotionally?
Definitely. This kind of helps get rid of the fear of loss and just being comfortable with yourself. I know now in the future, like no matter what happens, like I will be fine, because you know, like when everything's stolen from you, you're sleeping on the road, and you realize that like this is actually like, even if you hit the rock bottom,
yeah,
it makes you not afraid of taking risks. Like when I started on this journey, I actually had no money in my bank account. I sold my camera
to make some money.
To raise money, and then I just lived very cheaply traveling. I didn't know if it would have success or anything like this. It was just a massive risk, but
I love it.
It paid off, and it proves to myself that, you know, taking risks and just charging forward is the right way to go.
100%.
After this trip, I want to go to Mongolia.
Oh,
it's like just some random thing. Like no planning or anything.
That's a place to go walking.
Yeah, well, I want to ride a horse this time. Dude. That's my plan. I want to go ride a horse there.
I'm excited for you.
Other lessons, I would say one is like patience.
Oh, yeah.
You learn a lot of patience from, you know, just like, okay, you're being hungry or thirsty, or you feel like this blister on your foot, or yesterday, for example, my foot was twisted, but I still had to walk, you know, an extra like, you know, 6 hours or something. So it's like, you just like every step is painful, and you just kind of accept it. Or like when you're sleeping before, you know, like mosquitoes would bother me. Now I'm just like, I feel getting eaten alive the whole night. I wake up with like a million little bites on my arms, and it's just like you get used to it, and it's actually like it all turns out to be fine, you know. Another lesson, one of my favorites, is any bad situation, I always ask myself, what can I learn from this? And
there's always something.
Then it turns every bad situation into a good one. I think also like one of my life goals is to become strong, and so yeah, when you encounter a bad situation, it's just like a chance to level up, basically. Well,
you have the physical part, and you want to make the mental part go with the physical part, right?
Exactly. Then suddenly, like your entire experience with life is different.
100%, yeah.
You're more willing to take risks, and you're more willing to pursue your goals, and suddenly life just turns to be like a fun game, you know? It's no longer as miserable as it was before.
I love that you figured out all of this in your mid-20s. Imagine what your 30s are going to look like if you understand this at 25. Yeah. And if you ever decide to settle down and I don't know, maybe get married one day or something, or be in a committed situation, you understand yourself first, which is something some people get into marriage before they know themselves.
I think learning how to be alone is such an important thing.
And being okay being alone.
Yeah. Because you can really derive a lot of strength from that. Yeah. And I also found that before, like in past relationships too, is like, you know, you kind of seek somebody else because you feel lonely or you're missing something, but I feel like if you always live like that, if you're always living your life for other people, it really will kill all of your ambitions.
100%. You know? I feel like I'm gaining youthful energy from your experience. I greatly appreciate you for sharing this with me and sharing this with the Taiwanese people. What keeps you going on this walk? You injured your foot, you kept going. You had money or you had possessions stolen, you kept going. What keeps you going?
I find with anything, you can't fail if you just keep persisting. You know, it's kind of a theme that actually I get from anime. I like watching anime. Where basically, you know, like in all anime, they always have the main character who just never gives up.
Yeah.
And I love that theme so much. I find that, like, you know, really any kind of goal that you want to pursue, like if you just keep going at it and you just keep learning, then really you can just achieve it, right? Like if you, for example, like you want to become healthier, you want to fix this problem in your life, you want to build this business, as long as you keep throwing at it, like it's going to maybe take 10 times longer than you think it's going to take.
Yeah, it always does. Yeah.
There will be a time where you can either accomplish your goal or get very close to it.
Your love for like the anime and the hero's journey really inspired you to be doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And then someone gave you a samurai?
Katana.
A katana.
It's a fan that gave it to me.
That's so cool.
The katana's from Demon Slayer, which is an anime.
Oh, is it real metal?
It's wood.
Oh, it's well cool.
So I actually wanted a real one, but of course, like maybe the police wouldn't like that as much.
Yeah, for sure.
Before this trip, what inspired me to do this trip? Okay, Miyamoto Musashi. And then I started on this trip, someone gives me a sword. And then another person on a separate occasion gives me the straw hat.
Oh.
You know? Completely separate. They don't know each other, they don't know who I am. The one that gave me a straw hat was just like a farmer.
It just came together.
But it's just like, it came together. And it's just like, wow. You know, when you really visualize something, I'm not saying that, you know, manifestation is, I'm not sure if it's a true concept.
No, it's real, man.
But it's definitely real.
No. Manifestation is 100% real. Your words and your thoughts carry energy, and those words and those thoughts of that energy create.
I mean, it's very important to have a clear aim, a goal.
Yeah.
And you have that clear aim and goal, and then you just fixate it on it.
Yeah, so I'm closing my eyes right now, and I'm picturing Jacob after like getting home at the very end of all of this, and the adrenaline's died down, and you're just so satisfied. You're just like, wow, did that just happen? Like, it won't even feel like it happened after it happens.
Yeah.
It'll be like a dream.
Maybe it is a dream right now. I don't even know.
Simulation.
The journey is what was important. I guess at the end of the finish line is how much did I change as a person? That was the goal of it. It's not completing walking around the island, but it's more of like a journey for myself. So that's why a lot of people don't understand, okay, why am I not using the quickest way to go around the island? Or why am I not doing the most comfortable way around the island?
That's not the point of it.
Yeah, you know, like why am I not staying in hotels? Or why don't I have a tent or a sleeping pad or a sleeping bag? Or they ask all of these questions. They don't understand it. I did it for myself. And I think at the end, I really want to be a more courageous person. I think that's one of the biggest things, is to really just be able to do what I really want to do.
Keep doing it, man.
Because even small things on the beginning of this journey, like I was afraid to even like, you know, walk up to a stranger and ask for a place to stay. You know, like for me, that was such a for some reason I had this block inside me. Like I
think a lot of people might feel that way.
Yeah, like I feel like embarrassed or shy to talk to these strangers. When you look back at it, it seems silly, and it feels so natural to be able to do it now.
Any final words of wisdom that you want to say in closing?
I would say perhaps a lot of times people don't know what to do with their lives, but actually if they sit down with themselves, they actually have the answer already. It's just that they're too afraid to act on it. Or they always postpone the change. It's like, okay, at the start of this next year or tomorrow I will do X, Y, and Z. But I would say if it's important enough to you right now, you would start it right now, and you would thank yourself later. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing, is all of this has happened because I just left my house with no plan, no equipment, and just started walking with like not going back. But I also knew where I was going. So it's like you need to know where you're going, and then you need to just start going, and then not worry about the journey. You will, like, of course, come across problems and you'll learn from it, but that is what is so fun about it.
I love it.
Yeah, I would say.
I appreciate you, brother. Like, I love everything that you said, and I think that you were inspiring to whoever is watching. And I hope you can check out Jacob's journey. Either how can people see you on Instagram, and then you have other.
Yeah, on YouTube I do with my live streams, and then when I come back to Taipei, I will actually do more live streams. Like that's my next focus. So this is just like the first challenge I'm doing, but I have other ones, you know, like going to Mongolia and things like this.
I'm excited for you on the horse.
Yeah. So there'll be more live streams.
With the katana.
I want to do archery.
Oh my God.
Horseback archery is my big goal. Like archery was my favorite thing when I was younger. So,
all right, well, brother, once again, thank you. And
thank you for having me.
Let's keep an eye on your journey. All right, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.